Hello, everybody. It's John. It's wonderful to be able to chat with you again. The Princess Podcast, Volume 3. It's great to have you along. You have made a very powerful choice in your life today, and that is to spend a couple minutes with me, and that's a wonderful thing. Not because I'm special, because you're special. And it's just so wonderful that I get to spend time with special people like you guys. Listen, hey, did you know that I went overseas last week or whenever that was? I did. And I wanted to tell you maybe a little bit about it just so you could know that I had a good time. I went over there because I'd fallen in love with somebody on the internet. I know that sounds ridiculous. Somebody I hadn't even talked to. But I didn't get to meet them. But I still had a great time. And I'm sure everybody's going to, has great things. God has great things in store for everybody that I encountered. And it's just going to be wonderful to see how everything turns out in everybody's life, including mine. So thank you very much. So here's what happened. I got an airplane, or several, and I went over to Perth, Australia. Like I told you, there was this pretty girl on the internet, and I'd fallen in love with her because she's so beautiful. And I had to let her go coming home. It was tough. It was real tough. And it remains tough. It's tough to this day, but, it's like that old thing we always hear people say, when God closes a door, he's got a bigger and a better door. Not that there's anybody bigger and better than you, baby, but you know what I mean. Maybe there's somebody better for both of us, and you must be thinking that since you didn't even want to meet me. But anyway, no bitterness, no bitterness, love, just love thoughts. It's just flowing through me. The only way I know how to describe it, the love feelings are flowing through me like a mighty rushing stream. Not romantic love feelings necessarily anymore, because I had to stop that. I had to 86 that. I had to kank that. I had to get rid of that because that's bad thoughts. But just I care about you and I want the very, very best for you. I really do. And that's my hope and my dream for you now, is that I'll continue to follow you on the internet, continue to at least keep an eye on you for a while, just to make sure things are going okay in your life. And then, who knows? I'll send you a celebratory email that day that I hear that you get married to that special someone that I know God's going to bring into your life, or maybe he's already in your life. So whatever the case may be, I just, I got off on that and talked about a minute and a half on that. I hope y'all enjoyed that because that was a long time in your lives. But so let's go on to what happened. You guys want to ever get on a really great airplane, get on the airplane I'm on. And I don't say that, God opposes the proud. So, I'm not being prideful. I'm just being realistic. It's kind of a reality check. If you want to get on the fun plane, you get on the plane John's on. So, thanks to everybody and the crew and the flight people and the people that fly the planes. Everybody that was involved in getting me to and from Perth were just fabulous, professional. Loved you all. You were great. And it was a good time, and you were very professional, especially that flight going over. Some things happened that were a little bit unusual, and like I said, you get on the plane with John, you can pretty much count on something crazy going on that flight. Can I get a better amen? That first flight over to overseas, we did this like practice for a parade thing where we drove up and down the runway a couple times at about 10, 15 miles per hour. All the way down one runway, then all the way back. I'm not making this up. Ask them if you don't believe it. And then shortly thereafter, or right before that, I can't remember when it happened, they had these uniformed U.S. Customs agents get on the plane and pull two guys off. This is before we've even taken off, right? And you'll have to excuse Fritzy over here. He's scratching and doing something. It's making a little bit of noise, and I love him so much I'm not going to beat him. I appreciate him. He doesn't realize. See, he's a dog, and dogs don't realize that we're recording. So anyway, I finally get over there to Australia. Friday night was great, although I was a little hungry and a little tired. I'm not really the kind of guy that flies or sleeps sitting up well. I know there are people that do that. Okay, I'm not one of those people, and I kind of from a flight that's that long, I tend to show up where not that I fly overseas a lot, but you fly 2 or 3 consecutive flights in which you didn't get any good sleep. Get there a little groggy, a little hungry, and then I get in my hotel room. I can't figure out how to use the freaking telephone. Look, here in America, we've been figuring this out for hundreds of years. It's 3 numbers and then 7 numbers. So it's 3 numbers, and that's your area code, and then there's 7 numbers, and you dial those 7 numbers, those 10 numbers, and you can call anywhere in the country. Y'all ought to try that. It's really good. It works perfect. And I couldn't figure out how to use the phone to order a pizza, and I was too embarrassed to go back downstairs to the fine folks that were up at the at the what do you call that, the counter. I didn't want to bug them with, hey, how to use your telephone. So I just took a walk and went out in town a little bit. I stayed at the few nights. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency in Perth, and then the last evening I actually moved down the street a little bit, and but I was always in the same area, which is I think the name of the street is Aldine Terrace, something like that. But that's where I stayed. I was in that area, and there's a little restaurant down there that I grabbed something to eat that first night. There was no real culture shock. Australia, in many ways, reminds me of the States. The people are fantastic. They're very friendly. There were times that you know how my overactive imagination goes. There were times that I felt like people were playing with me a little bit, and maybe it was in my mind, but maybe it wasn't. It felt like maybe they were just jabbing at me a little bit, having a good time, being Australians. Like there was this one time, you guys are gonna love this. I walked down. I guess it was on. I don't remember one of the days down there. I walked down to this. There's this really nice area that's right on the water on the Swan River. It's right in front of downtown. They've got a Ferris wheel down there. You can get something to eat down there, like not really. There's a little cafe down there, and then there's some places you can get coffee. And I wandered down there by myself. You can get a tour, or you can do tours there, like sightseeing tours or boat tours where they'll take you out on the river. And I thought about doing some of that, but I thought, well, I'll maybe do that later. I'll just check this place out. Maybe I'll walk over to Kings Park if it's not far away. Kings Park is like, I think it's the number one attraction or tourist attraction in that town. It's just look it up on the internet. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to go over there and see it. And so there's this guy that was sitting behind the counter at one of these like tourist little places where you could sign up for a tour, and I guess he could see that I was looking over in his direction, and he said, "Hey, come over here, guy. Can I help you with something?" I said, "Well, yeah, I wanted to get over here. I read about this place called Kings Park. I want to go over there." He goes, "Oh, you want to walk or you want to take a bus?" I said, "Well, how far away am I?" And we got to talking. He said, "Well, you're such a nice guy, man. We're going to work out a deal for you." I said, "Oh, great." And he said, "Well, you see where those people are sitting right there? I want you to go stand over there, and when you get on that bus, you tell them that Bill sent you, and that you're to ride for free. And this is my that I've decided that you're a nice guy, and you just tell them that Bill says you ride for free." And I thought, well, that's nice. I'm gonna pocket a couple bucks. Couldn't be more than a couple bucks to get over there, but that was a very nice gesture. I get on the bus and find out it's a free bus. Nobody pays anything, so. This is the kind of humor, they're really good with humor. There's something about them that they're just funny people. Good, funny in a good way, great way. I would suggest get as many Australians around you as you can. There are times they can be just downright fabulous. So, went out to Northbridge. This is a section of town. The only way I know how to describe Northbridge to folks that maybe, well, I've never been to Northbridge. Fritzy, I don't want you to get on the floor. I don't like it when he gets on the floor when I'm talking to you folks, because he's got these long fingernails and they go clack, 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 clack on the floor. If he walks around anymore, we'll do something about it. But so anyway, Northbridge is this neighborhood. The only way I know how to describe it, if you're a Texan, if you remember how Deep Ellum was, Deep Ellum in Dallas, where there's like numerous city blocks that at night sort of become like this hub of nightlife where it's, well, to be perfectly frank with you, it's drinking establishment after drinking establishment after drinking establishment, and there are lots of restaurants out there and shops and whatnot, and it's just a neat place to go out there and wander around. There was actually an event where I thought I was going to meet that really pretty girl, but she didn't show up. She got sick. How convenient to get sick the night that I was going to meet you. So anyway, she was sick, so I didn't get to meet her. But I did happen to walk by the place where the party was going on, and I did see the birthday boy. There's at this place that they were at, it's a place called Harry's. There's actually this section where to the side of it where you can sit outside, I guess. And they were at this table, and I just kind of walked by, and I don't know if he saw me. I tried to make eye contact with him, but I didn't go in there. You know, it's a little weird to say, "Hi, I'm the guy that's been stalking what's her name on the internet, and I came to your birthday party." So I skipped it, but I did wander around out there, and Northbridge is actually pretty interesting. It sort of was the event that sort of it really changed my views on the town. It's a happening place. You know, it's not the kind of place that I generally hang out in a lot, and I didn't go into any of the places, but I had a pretty cool experience with a born again Christian out there. I'd been walking around for probably about 3 hours, and I was just about ready to jump in a cab and go back to the hotel and watch Zardoz. And I'm going around in circles here, this one block, just kind of watching people, and I noticed that there were these two people passing out some sort of literature, or some sort of pamphlet, or some sort of advertisement. I couldn't tell what it was. I was at a distance, and I thought maybe they were just handing out, like, you know, brochures for a nightclub, you know, drink specials or whatever. Well, I get right up to them, and one of these girls hands me what she's holding, and it's a picture of a present on the front. It says something like instructions to receive your free gift. And so I opened it up, and what it was a gospel tract. And so these two people were, actually there were three of them that I saw. There were two that I saw right there on the sidewalk, and there was one across the street. But this girl was out there street witnessing. She was about 21 years old, I think. She was Asian, really nice girl. But what I like to do when I bump into born again Christians out in public like that is I sometimes like to play Lost. Like, I'll go up to them and say, "What is this all about?" And I'm hurting, I'm lonely, I need help. You know, some of that's actually true. But anyway, I went out there and I said, you know, I talked to her for a few minutes and, you know, played Lost and let her witness to me. And finally I said, "Look, I know Jesus, and I just was having fun with you." And we had a good time talking. And what was interesting is that it's just interesting how the Lord will place people in your life at times when you really need to hear from Him. You know, at a precise moment where I'd really like to get a word from God, or, you know, just know that He loves me, that He's here. And that's precisely when I you know, I won't go into the details of the conversation, but she just shared from her heart, and I sensed in my spirit that this young lady was sharing, you know, it was the Lord speaking to me. And it was really a neat moment. It was kind of like, because that night was sort of a night where I had to, you know, take my plans off, so to speak, and say, "Lord, whatever your plans are for me, you know, I surrender them to you." And I can't. And it was just neat, sort of, that at that strategic time, when I was just about to go back to my hotel and sort of, you know, well, you know how it is in life when something doesn't go the way you want it to. You know, even us believers, we can quote Romans 8:28 all day long, but, you know, there's still a human side of us that is affected when things don't exactly work out the way we'd hoped or planned. And so it was just neat how God does that He places somebody strategically right where I was going to be, and, you know, gives them an encouraging word for you, you know, even whenever, you know, when you need it. So that was a kind of an interesting experience. Yeah, again, you know, I did Kings Park. I didn't do a whole lot of sightseeing, get around town a whole lot. I was only there for about 4 whole days. The 5th day, I actually spent the entire day at the airport. You know, and I could say that I really got to know the Perth airport, at least the Qantas area. But because once I checked out of my hotel, I went somewhere, had some breakfast, you know, some of them eggs on toast. They love putting eggs on toast. You know, not that, you know, here in America we love eggs, we love toast, but we don't generally dump one on the other like they do out there. It tastes great. You know, you get scrambled eggs on toast, a cup of coffee. Let me talk about their coffee just for a minute. I know we're at 15 minutes and you guys are ready to you know, either go to sleep or do something else. But the coffee there is really strong. And one of the things is that it's sort of a dissertation to get a coffee there. You know, it's not like in America, like where you got a coffee maker in your room in your hotel, or you've got a coffee. You know, you go down to the lobby of your hotel and they've got coffee there. I mean, coffee is an amazingly big part of American culture that I don't think you appreciate until you go somewhere where it's not. And I mean, they drink coffee. Don't get me wrong, but like I went down to my hotel. I went down to the lobby of my hotel and asked this guy. One day, I asked him, you know, can I get a cup of coffee? And he said, well, there's a coffee shop down the street, across the street, block down. And I was like, what? I got to leave this place to get a cup of coffee? And then, and nothing against the hotel. The hotel was great. I'm just telling you the difference in culture. And then at my first hotel, which was down the street, I came downstairs and I said, I need a cup of coffee. And she said, oh, well, go on over there to the cafe or whatever that's called over there, and they'll get you a cup of coffee. I had to order a cup of coffee. They had to go away for about 5 minutes. And then a uniformed guy holding a tray, you know, like he was bringing me a cocktail or something, comes walking up with this fancy schmancy coffee drink. And I paid $7 for it with a tip, you know, including the tip. And I was like, dude, I just wanted a freaking cup of coffee, man. Anyway, I'm going on and on and on. But it's a great place, great people, beautiful city. Perth is a beautiful town. Like I said, it's situated right on a river, it's situated right near the water anyway, on the ocean. And it's just a great place, and I do recommend it if you're going out there to Australia. Fly Qantas. It never crashes. And they're good people. There's Fritzy just making noise on the floor, and he doesn't realize that I was recording. So he's a dog, so I'm not angry at all at him. So God bless you guys. Had a great time. Wish I could have met you. I wasn't joking. I really, really liked you. I didn't bring a ring or anything. I wasn't going to ask you to marry me. I mean, I don't know why we couldn't have found a way to meet, but we all have our reasons in life, don't we, sweetie? But I got to let you go. I have to let you go. And it's just kind of hard, you know? But I know out there somewhere is the one that God's created, that God set aside for me, and I'm willing to wait as long as it takes. And so that's just sort of the way I feel about it. It's always hard when something doesn't work out, you know, the way you dreamed or planned. And I really do mean from the bottom of my heart, I hope the very, very best for you. And I know you'll get the very best. So thank you guys for listening. I know it was a little long today, but 18 and a half. I got 18 minutes and 15 seconds here, but y'all have a great day, and keep reading the blog, please, because we're going to continue this thing until that gorgeous princess walks down the aisle, and it will happen eventually. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.